Welcome to a channel that's half memory and half evidence, where truth shows up in worn boots and bad timing. These stories aren't instructions, they are reconstructions, and sometimes there are guests. Nothing here is advice, and none of it's fake, other than this voice. From El Castillo de Blanquet, this is Steve R. Patterson.
Hello, I'm Steve Patterson. Welcome to my channel. The purposes of this channel is to give people out there that might be facing some kind of seemingly impossible situation in your life hope that you indeed can survive anything and that you are indeed your greatest asset. Myself, after I got out of the service in the late 80s, I ran around the country for a while before I eventually got into the .com world early on, where I've been working remotely now for almost 30 years, self-employed. During that time, I was part of the .com rise in sports journalism before I was diagnosed terminally ill with liver failure in 2010 after a life of hard living, you could say. There was some legal issues along the way, a lot of adventures. I'll get to that in a second. I entered into a state where they said I was going to die, the doctors, and so I sought alternative healings and really didn't seek medical care traditionally for about 4 years. Ultimately, a few years after that, after I started seeing people, I eventually found out that I had liver cancer. During that time, though, I also moved into the clinical space and became a drug and alcohol counselor. So in 2020, a year after I was transplanted, I decided to leave the United States altogether and start over. Since that time, I've sort of been rebuilding. I've just released some books that are going to be available here and elsewhere. Since that time, I've been living out of the United States and in Latin America. Currently, I live in South America, and I'm going to be delivering a series of videos over the coming months that detail sort of behind the scenes what it was like during the rise of the .com world, the whole transplant experience, my take on shamanism and things like that after going through that experience for 4 years. Also, the life of living abroad, being a resident of a foreign country, being born in the United States, Gen X, and my brother, who incidentally is the same age as I, separated by only 11 months, and he too had a liver transplant. So we're going to start out the series with my brother and I had a transplant. If you look forward to hearing some of this kind of content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell in case you get a notification that way that we have a new episode. We're going to try to put out 1 or 2 per week in different series as we go. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, SRP Valkyrie, on X. Comment below. My website is stevepatterson.online. You can check out more about me, and you can find out more about my publications and past places that I've worked, and some of the clinical terms that I might mention, some of the legal terms I might mention, some of the military terms, some of the anything. I'll sort of have a key to some of all this there, but we're going to have a wild ride. So I hope you stick with us. So keep in touch. Man,